Hello everyone, I'm super excited to record this video today because follow-ups in B2B sales have been one of the hottest topic, and a lot of people might be asking me why the heck I'm recording this video today. Because to a lot of people it seems kind of obvious until it doesn't, how to do the follow-ups the right way. So today I want to present you a masterclass, everything about follow-ups in B2B sales, and I want to give you some of the sauce which I've been using for our clients, how it works, how we can set it up, etc. But why follow-ups actually matter? They matter because in 2025, the attention span of the average person is so short that even if your email is great and your offer is really amazing and people would benefit from it, a lot of people just forget to read the whole thing or they forget to reply. And hence, if you're not constantly on top of their mind, you'll simply disappear and you will not sign them as your client and you won't book any calls. That's the reality. Hence, this is one of the most important reasons why you should have a great follow-up system in place, meaning that you send message consistently, you present your offer, you present your company, right? And your total addressable market, your ICP, is constantly thinking about you. They remember about you, right? And when the right moment comes, they answer your email, they book a call with you, and you close them as your client, right? And just to give you some key statistics, I found it on the internet. It requires, on average, 5 to 12 follow-ups to actually close someone as your client. And 44%, like that's overwhelming. 44% of sales rep give up after one follow-up, which was probably unsuccessful, right? So they get ghosted and they think like, nah, I don't need it. And that's the problem, right? And only 2% of people with whom you made contact will buy just after first message. And it takes so much more volume and so much more frequency that you can imagine to actually sign a client for your business. Hence, if you don't follow up at least 3 to 5 times, I mean, what are you even doing? That's the situation in 2025, and I believe it won't really change in 2026, 2027. We are constantly getting bombarded with so much information, right? With so many things that it's really hard to remember about someone unless they are reminding about themselves to you. So as I told you, like 44% reps stop after just one follow-up, and most replies come between second and fifth touch point. That's why it is important that you have frequent follow-ups sent to your ICP. And you have the question probably like, then how many follow-ups do I actually have to send? Ideally, if you start with cold email, you want to do 2 to 3 follow-ups per campaign. It doesn't mean that after one campaign you stop reaching out to your prospect, but you try with 3-4 messages with one particular offer, right? And one particular angle. If it doesn't work, then you move on. After 1 week, you launch another angle and see how the people respond to that new angle. Because it's much better to kind of recycle the leads, reuse them with new offer, a new approach, than just try to spam them with the same message the whole time. For SMB or really short cycles, you can do 2 to 3 days per follow-up. That's great. Works pretty well, specifically with some sort of like dentists, constructions, plumbers, etc. They are not against follow-ups because they barely get any cold emails. So that's your competitive advantage, right? And as a rule of thumb, if you say the same thing twice, you better rewrite it, right? Reuse, do the new angle rather than keep sending the same thing. If you cannot come up with new angle, just stop, really. Just stop because it might ruin your reputation. It can backfire. So really, in each follow-up you do, make sure that you add some sort of value. You add something that prospect might think about. And that's how we come to our next thing, right? Is what to actually include in follow-ups. That's a good question because we can talk about different stuff regarding follow-ups, but if you don't know what to include, what you actually can write about, then the situation might be bad for you and you won't get any good replies and calls booked. So I have 3 main things which I love to use in the follow-ups. The first one would be the personal hook, meaning that instead of going deeper into company level data, we can go into person level data. So we can mention the person's content. Maybe we could mention their new role, or maybe they're responsible for hiring in this company, right? Maybe some sort of product update which still affects this particular person. So something on the personal level which makes them think about their current situation and potential current problem. The second thing is new angle, meaning that within one offer, you can have different sort of angles, right? You can put the case study as the first follow-up message. For the second follow-up message, you can do ROI breakdown or ROI statistics. That's the different angle within the same offer. I hope you get the idea. Or you can even send some sort of alternative case study or alternative use case, which still shows how the prospect can benefit from your product. And also for breakup sort of messages, it is important to remember that you always want to leave the door open. And before you make your exit, right, you suggest at least one last valuable asset. So if you don't have great lead magnet, you gotta develop one. I'll also make a video about it, how to create really great lead magnets, right, which actually allow you to book calls on autopilot. So make sure you have at least a couple of those sales assets and lead magnets, which you can always put in. So never close the door. Always leave the room for engagement. You don't want to say, if you're not interested right now, you won't ever sign a contract with us. No, that's wrong. What you want to do is, okay, maybe the timing is not right. Let's re-engage. Let me write to you back maybe in a couple of months and see if the situation changes. That's how it should be. You should always leave the door open. And here are some of the examples, right? I won't go into too much detail, but for example, the first message is just checking in to see if you got my last email. It doesn't add any sort of value. There is no reason for me to reply to this email. Why would I reply to it? And it signalizes laziness because it's really low effort. It takes you maybe 10, 15 seconds to type this message out. Makes 0 sense. On the contrary, good follow-up says something of value. It adds context or proof or both and reason to engage. So you're hiring for 2 new account executives. Usually, this means that you're doubling down on your pipeline. We helped X company do the same last quarter by, and here you can insert your offer, for example, by installing AI-driven outbound systems. Would it be worth a quick comparison? Short, simple, sweet, adds value and gives them the reason to answer you, right? You're not asking for the call. You're not pitching your service straight away. You rather try to give value and see if this might be something of interest for them. That's how you should do it. Same with the second one. We've worked with many B2B teams. We can help you too. Again, it's vague, it's forgettable. And here we have the other one. One of our SaaS clients in Finland used the same GTM setup, Clay for enrichment, instantly for sending, and Make for automation. They went from 4 to 15 qualified meetings per week within the month. Would it hurt to explore how company could replicate that? Simple as that. Again, you add a very specific localized case study, you show them the results, and you ask if the person would be interested in learning more about it. That's how you should do it, right? Always make sure you add some sort of value. You create a reason for the prospect to reply. And rule of thumb, if you are repeating the same thing again, try to rewrite it or just stop following up. That's it. The next topic, of course, is channel mix. You want to have multiple touch points across different platforms. We combine mostly emails, LinkedIn, and calls. Those are the most viable options. So you can have, for example, a couple of emails, then you add this person on LinkedIn, you have a good excuse why you're reaching out to this person, you send them a couple of messages, okay, they don't reply, then you find their phone number, right, and you call them. And you have a great sort of intro line. You have a good reason why you reach out to them, because you send the emails, you send LinkedIn messages, and you got no response. Now you can try to convert them over the warm call. I would call it even the warm call, because there's already been some sort of engagement, right? So we mostly use emails as a primary outreach channel. Then on LinkedIn, we do some soft touches. We try to share more content. If we are, for example, posting actively, we send some of the best content pieces we've had, sales assets, and then calls for button interrupt after a couple of messages which weren't responded to, right? And multi-channel sequencing, from our experience, it nearly doubles the reply rates you get. So that's a really good thing to do. Also, the next topic which I would like to cover regarding the follow-ups, of course, is automation and speed to lead. It is also very important because you are in a very competitive market. And there are a lot of people who are reaching out to your clients, to your potential clients, to your total addressable market the whole time. And the one who responds the quickest mostly wins this client. You know, there is a saying that speed is the most important thing in business. And that's true, specifically when you're handling the inbox, when you're getting the replies and you have to reply to the leads. The quicker you do it, the better. So if you do it within 5 minutes, you have up to 80% of chance to booking this person for the call. If you do it within 1 hour, it is 30% higher than usual. But if you do it within 1 day, there is very low chance that this person will book a call with you, because the quicker you reply, the better. That's why you have to use different automations for that. It is important. So you either want to notify your sales reps that there is a positive reply, please go check it out, respond to them as soon as possible, add them on LinkedIn, call them. That's the one way to do it. Second way to do it, you can try to use AI agents to handle the replies, the positive replies, do the inbox management on your behalf. And in 80% of cases, it's doing a great job. And if it can do its job, the reps will be notified that the human input is needed. Again, that's a very good way to do it anyways. And so we can really go to, first of all, Make. In Make, as you can see, I have set up a very easy, a very simple workflow, which allows us to do a couple of things. First of all, we fetch the interested replies from Instantly into Make, then Make processes the data and creates a Slack message for the sales reps. And here what it looks like, for example. New message, new interested reply, name, last name, email, campaign name, and reply text. And so the person who gets this message, which is, by the way, automated, and it takes around 10 seconds after the interested reply has been captured to be sent, right? Within 15 seconds, the person can go log into Instantly, go find this lead and follow up with them. Answer their question and try to book a call. Just simple as that. And you can also divide it, for example, per reps. For example, you have reps in Germany, right? The campaign is also in German. So you want to assign very specific replies from very specific campaigns to your German reps. For example, you have Spanish reps as well. And there are some email campaigns in Spanish. So you only assign positive replies from Spanish campaigns to Spanish reps. So that's how you can do it. And that allows you really to have under 5-minute reply time. The second thing, which is kind of new, we're also testing it out, is AI reply agent by Instantly. Instantly is the platform we use for cold email and building pipelines for sales teams, right? So what we are doing here is, if we go to AI's agent settings, we can configure our AI agent in a way that we can choose what sort of tone of voice makes sense, right? Even dependent on your personality. Some people are friendlier, some people are humorous, some people are straight to the point, matter of fact. So you can choose your tonality. You can also choose the response length. Maybe you're more concise, or you like to write long paragraphs and explain yourself a lot. You can choose the different things, but also what is important, you can upload your company data, the information about your product, your offer, your service for the AI. And AI will be trained based on this guidance, right? And reply to the messages automatically without your input. And I can assure you that it works really, really well. And if, for example, there is no way the AI can handle this lead itself, the reps are getting notified straight away. So 15 seconds, the automation is running. Okay, me, AI agent, I cannot do it. So I'm going to notify the human reps that, okay, help me, human input is needed. And you can also, again, integrate it with Slack. So when these human loops happen, you can send them directly to Slack and real people handle it. You can also connect your AI agent to Calendly. So it will go through your Calendly and find the suitable times for your prospect, and it will suggest it in the reply. So that's how crazy it's getting. I know it might sound a bit unrealistic and crazy, but believe me, 80% of the cases are being handled by AI agent for inbox management. So I definitely recommend you to take a look at this one, right? And also some final thoughts. So to conclude what we have covered so far, follow-ups are where the deals actually happen. So if you don't follow up, nothing is going to happen, right? The second thing is frequency plus value plus timing. They beat volume when it comes to follow-ups. Of course, it is important to send a lot of them to constantly remind the prospects about you, but it's even more important to add value to each follow-up you do. If you repeat yourself, try to rewrite it. If you cannot, just drop it and don't follow up. That's it. Also, respect attention, but stay visible. Again, that's about frequency, right? Every 5-7 days is a good time frame to do the follow-ups. Also, automate the important parts, which you can automate. You have instantly, you have make sure that your salespeople are only focused on selling, right? They are focused on actually converting leads. They're not doing some manual stuff. So that's very good. And your salespeople will be super grateful for you. And of course, the best salespeople aren't louder. They're just more consistent, right? If it's only one follow-up, remember, you're going to be you are going to be the bottom percentage, which is doing nothing. But you want to be the top 1%. Hence, it is important. You follow up consistently. You add value. And that's how you sign a lot of B2B deals and make a lot of money. Anyways, I hope this video was valuable for you. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you want to have a chat and think about building some sort of custom GTM strategy and follow-up system for your business, you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm super active there. I post almost every day, so you can also see what I'm doing on a daily basis and learn from me and implement things. Again, let me know what my next video should be about, right? And I'll record it specifically for you. And then I just see you in the next video. Ciao.